Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel and another video, and this one is about deck building, or it's actually extending the deck. The original deck of the house was built here about 2 years ago, and a couple projects had to happen to make it what it needed to be, and ran out of time, ran out of resources, all that stuff. Other projects took precedence, so we're back on this one, and let me show you what I got. So the original deck is here, and pretty decent size for the house. It's about 22 by 22 and does really well for us, and especially we're only 4 of us in the family. So, but what I have going on is that board that's down the far end of the deck was here, and that was out. It extends out just about 8 feet. And where the retaining wall used to be a slope of earth back down into the ground here, where we're standing. And the idea was always to make just a little platform right there, about a 6x6 platform, and then step it down to the height of the garage, which is just about right there. So what I ended up doing is saying, okay, well, it's 8 foot. I was originally going to make it 6 foot, and just decided to take up this whole space. So yesterday I was having some camera issues and didn't get this on film, but I'll show you what I got here. So this is a pressure treated glue lam beam, and it's a 5 1/8 by 12. And this existing pier right here, let's take a look. We have 2 posts here, one for the existing glue lam that's right there that holds up the most of the deck on this side, and then the second one actually goes all the way up and holds the roof structure. And that's been doing, everything here has been doing really well. So just took that and said there was only a little bit of space left here, so took a 4x6, and that'll support the rest of that glue lam beam, and then the floor joists that go across here. So yesterday I put in this bracket and this post to hold up the glue lam beam, and the drill was getting a little hot, so I still have 2 more bolts to go through there. There's just all thread, 5/8 all thread, and right through the post to keep that at the top, and then the post brackets for the bottom, and they're 5/8. I'm using 5/8, what do you call, thunder studs or thunderbolts, wedge anchors, and that keeps them locked in the bottom from moving anywhere. So over on this side, I have to get this post in next, and I'll show that to you guys, and then we'll talk about what's going on up here a little bit. So who says that dimensional lumber is all the same size? There you go. So that ledger board that extends out over here is, geez, at least a 1/4 inch smaller than the new lumber that I got just recently. So the ledger board runs all the way the length of the house, all the way back there, and then the second one just takes up the space. And then the third one is in a concealed joist hanger to provide some more support. So that takes up the load on that side. And then this hanger will be turned around and then go down to the post that's going to be bound below it. So this outside 2x12 was a little bit cupped. So that's what all the clamps are on here. It was glued and screwed, and I'm going to take them off in a minute and then get working on the post. before locking in the base, I made sure that the post was plumb and in the center of that bracket on top. And then I also ran this 2x down and to a stake and secured it there. So next thing I'm going to do is get a couple holes drilled here, get some of that through bolt put in and locked in place, and then I'm going to start getting some floor joists ready. So it's next day here. Yesterday I got the bolts in the top of these brackets and started getting some of these massive floor joists in, and just didn't stop to take a break to film anything. So I put a couple nails here at the end to and then mark these at 12" on center, and then brackets on the end, joist hangers for the 12s, and that's about it. So I'm going to continue on here. This one right here falls right on the bracket. Trying to think of what I'm going to do here next. Probably going to take it and just move it to the other side of the bracket, or maybe land half on the bracket, half not on the bracket, just to keep this closer to 12" span. So after that I got a couple more 2x12s, and I have one more joist here and then 2 on the rim. All right, I think I left off where I was missing some joist hangers here. I went to the hardware store and grabbed some joist hangers and finished up the rest of these. And I thought I was going to actually put against the plate there that the bracket that was made, and my father said, why don't you just header it off? And obviously he had a good idea there. I don't know why I was thinking about it. I was too close to the problem. So what I did is put a double header in there, nailed it all the way down on both sides, and then just hung the joist hanger from there. So you know, something if you're in a pinch there. So what I did next is I came over to the side here and cut off these tails because I wanted to make sure that these didn't warp. So I have the mid-span blocking midway down the line there, and came over here, scribed a line that was in line with the rest of the deck here, and then cut those tails off. I ended up putting this one, there's a double floor joist that's right here on the end, and buttered it right up to that one. This next one will go out to where the line is there on that rim joist, and that will go, and I will measure 16 feet back into the existing deck, take all that stuff off there, and 16 foot, cut that off, peel that outside rim joist off, and then I'll nail the other rim joist back into the deck to just shore this outside up a little bit. It's only cantilevered out less than 1/3 of the deck. That's what code says. Can't be any more than 1/3 of the, I'm sorry, it's 1/4 of the span, the full span of the deck. So we're good there. But that at least, you know, just shores up this corner just a little bit more to get it tied back into that deck. So what I'm doing next is working on the handrail and the posts. So this is what I did for the post here. Actually, let me see in the corner. I got to move this. So I did blocking on both sides over here, and then used a tension tie at the top. I need to screw that one in just a little bit more, and just threaded rod from the outside in, and then I did it from both sides. So this is, there's no way that's going anywhere. Over here, since there's a double rim joist on the outside, it's already pretty sturdy. So I just took and did a double between these two floor joists, and then this one is here just to take up this space. Unfortunately, when I ordered these through bolts, I ordered them way too long. So the threaded part is, I mean, the unthreaded part is longer than it needs to be. So I just put a piece of 4x4 that was cut off in there, and then this tension tie is here temporarily. I had to cut them off because I couldn't get a wrench in there. And next thing I'll do is I'll just go ahead and thread these in with these screws that come with it. So they're right from Simpson. So each hole will get a screw. I'll tighten that up, and then that'll make this one, you know, as strong as it possibly could be. There was, I think the post would break before it actually twist any of the outside members. So I will put one more here. These Trex Enhance, or this Trex railing, all of them, they come in 6 and 8 foot, I believe. And I went 39 inches up on the post, and they're 6 foot in between them. So I went 6 foot on center here, and I'll trim each one off. And I checked my measurement over here. I'm 6 foot on center there, and then I'll just be longer than 6 foot on center over there, so I won't have as much to trim off. So that'll give me 3 sections right here, and that should finish this off. So I'm going to get this screwed in, get the rest of these posts in, work on that rim joist on the outside, and I'll be right back. For anybody that says that coated framing nails out of the gun doesn't hold, yeah, well, they hold. Got that marked out, and once I catch my breath here, I'll get the other 2x12 up in place and nail that in. And then this backside will be done, and then I'll cut off that tail on the end. If I could sum it up in one word, the summer of 2021, it's rain. It's been, geez, I don't know how long now. It's been at least a week since I was on this. So I got some plywood down. Some of the stuff that I had was used. Some is new. The plywood's going for about 39 bucks a sheet. Oh, there goes a deer. And so again, this is just temporary until I get some Trex or equivalent to put down on the deck here, and that's probably going to be next season. So this will get us through the next, well, till about this time next year. And it's solid, it's safe, all good. So I'm working on the posts. Most of them are all tied in here, all the rest of them. I got a little bit of banister up there. And so I'm just working on this one now, which I need to block on the left, and then double the block 4x4 on the closest to me here, because like I said, my bolts are a little bit too long. And then I'll put the tension tie in there as well, and then this corner one, and then that'll finish this section off. Well, I need to get one back to the house here, so I'll film that once I start this here this morning. Get these temporary stuff off here, get this decking back down, and get this safe again. All right, finally finished the posts here, and the ones on the outer end here, they I needed to block this out so that the spacing between the last two posts were correct here, because the sections that I have of the railing are 6 feet, but you have to make sure that the pickets, you need like to leave 1 9/16 or something for the brackets. So you had to make sure that the post spacing is just right here. So that's why there's a double blocking down here, and they have the tension tie through the outside double rim, and like I said, that 4x4 is just for taking up the space. I ended up actually running out and grabbing some more not too long ago, some shorter ones, because I was out. So the blocking between is just to keep it from going back and forth. And then back here in the corner, this end, I don't know why I didn't put a double in here in the first place, but that was a couple years ago. But it still should be just fine. There's only this, 3-foot section that's hanging out here, and this one is 9 3/4 inch, close to it. So so just the blocking between to make sure that the post is secure left and right, back and forth, and then the tension ties to go on either side. And that's, I think the deck would fall down before that post would come down. So overdoing it, yeah, maybe just a little bit, but I will sleep just fine at night knowing that these will never never break. The sections between it would break before these would break. So here's the last one in the end. This is a little bit different. I put a double block here to take the load from just swaying back and forth with that single on the outside, and a through bolt tension tie on this side, and then the blocking between it to not only keep it from going left and right, but back and forth as well. And that'll transfer back and forth between these 3 floor joists, and that one's just as solid. Just to show you here, I have 5/8. They're about 16 inches, every 16 inches all the way around the perimeter. And then the tension ties actually go per code. They need to only be on one side, but they need to run through to the floor joists on the inside, which they are underneath. So these are just for good measure. They were actually in the plans, and I wanted to keep them there anyway, and that'll never ever go anywhere. So I'm going to put the decking down here, put this back in, and then show you a little bit of the railing going up, and then I think we'll end this video. All right, so this is the last section here, and a couple things to note is that the sections are cut and the holes line up with each other, and this is actually the bottom section, the one that's taller, and the brackets are kind of a pain here, but the bracket for the bottom goes on the bottom side of it. Actually, they both go on the bottom, but they're on different spots. So kind of a pain, but you just line it up with the end, and there's self-drilling screws here, self-tappers. And the top section, you put it on the side where the holes are, because that'll be upside down. It's actually on the bottom. But the important thing is that your sections are long enough that you don't interfere with the holes. So the instructions are a bit vague on this, but it says, I think, 1 9/16 you need at least on the end to put it on there. So I set up 2 blocks here that would be the height of the deck, because the sheathing I have down right now is just 5/8. So I have, it's almost a 1/4 inch here on top of the 4x4s to give it the right height that it'll be, you know, when I put the Trex down. So just want to get it into place, make sure it's the right distance. Actually using the wrong bit. The instruction says they want you to put it together on the ground, put a piece of wood on the bottom so that you can line these all up, but I found that it's a lot easier to just put one on at a time. And work it the way down. Probably couldn't see that there, but it really is a lot easier to do it this way. So I got it lined up here. I'm actually using about 3/4 inch to the outside here. And that's it. What I'll do is come back and glue these tops on. And, oh, I did forget the feet. The foots here, they just want you to drill a hole through the bottom in the center section. And there's just a little bit of a nub here. And then you just unscrew this down, and there's 2 holes for either way. To once you put it in, you can put a screw in there. Let's see. Just like that. You just run this screw right into the side, and I'll do that for these rest of these sections. But yeah, that finishes it off for what I need to do here. Next year I'll take this plywood back up and put the Trex down.